This clean foundation might actually be better than one of my current favorites, and it has been an OG favorite for years. I'm going to share 5 things using my scorecard system to help you decide whether or not to buy this or try something else. Total possible score on these scorecards is a 20 out of 20, and you're going to get my final verdict at the end. It's looking pretty good right now, but let's walk through it. Here we go. FYI, I purchased the Toups & Co. Organic Foundation. I'm not being paid to say the following. I'm a human. I'm giving an honest review. They tend to be somewhat rare these days, so I just wanted to let you know. If you're new here, I also want to let you know that I've tested thousands of products over the past 8 years. I've tried a lot of foundations. This one actually really surprised me. So we're going to start with ingredients. I'm going to do a quick scan. Transparency is most important to me. But Toups & Co. is very much so into tallow. They have a lot of skincare and body care with tallow. This does not have tallow in it. I wanted you to know that. There are, of course, organic ingredients because they mention it. It's in a glass container. Plastic components, aloe vera first, squalane, shea butters inside, vitamin E. Supposed to be good for sensitive skin types, by the way. I always say patch test, you never know. I do have a sample pack, by the way, so you can test this out, not only for your skin and sensitivity, but also to find the right shade. I have shade Magnolia, and that ended up being perfect for me. One thing I did not expect to see was that this provides natural sun protection. I'm a little iffy on that one. Do I think you should put a foundation like this on and not use sunscreen? I'm not doing that. Consult a physician. This is not medical advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Anyway, keep watching. I'm going to show you how it compares to that Holy Grail foundation I was talking about in just a sec. Application. I'm going to take off what I currently have on. Links to everything that I'm currently wearing, by the way, will be in the description. Anything that I mention for products will be in the description of this video. And if I have promo codes for you, I will put those in there. Drive to any full scorecard reviews so you can get that. Sometimes YouTube links to or tags products. Just going to take it off with jojoba oil, and you don't actually get access to my exclusive codes, so I always like to just say they're in there if you want them. So we're going to remove this. I will have a full face demo. I'm just going to do cheeks for the sake of this video. There are currently 12 shades available in the Toups & Co. foundation. That's on the shorter side in terms of shade range. They cover a good spectrum. I feel like they look mostly like middle of the road shades. I'm a little bit pink today. I did a treatment this morning, so don't freak out. This is a really creamy formula, but it's not heavy creamy. It's moisturizing creamy. You know what I mean? It's not going to be something that feels oily. The list of ingredients is very recognizable. I'm going to put the Toups on this side, and actually before I put it on, because I was mentioning this, I'm going to use a lightweight sunscreen first. This is the Solara. I'm currently testing it. I don't have a final verdict there, but this is what I usually do. So you'll see it live-ish. One of my favorite foundations, sadly the company is liquidating right now. Very sad. But this is from Juice Beauty. I've liked it for a long time. It's polarizing. It's more wet of a formula. Some people like it, some people don't. But I've liked it. My skin has always liked it. And it gives this beautiful semi-matte coverage. It's very lightweight, breathable. The claim is that it's easy to apply, the Toups & Co., and that it's buildable. So I used a pea-sized amount on both sides of my face to get the desired layer of coverage. I always recommend trying every tool you have. You can do a sponge. You can do just your hands. You can do a brush. I tried a couple of different brushes. I ended up really liking the BK 101 for this. That's this kind of densely packed but still soft foundation brush. And I just press it in. There is a scent. It's very subtle, very like vanilla meets fruity. A little like, I don't know, it smells kind of like Fruit Loopy, but very, very subtle Fruit Loopy. It's a very technical term. See that? Like, what is that? It's so easy to apply. One layer. You know when you have a foundation and you don't have to think about it when applying it? You know what I mean? If you have one of those that I'm not mentioning today, pop it in the comments. Let us know what yours is. Or maybe it's a tool. Maybe it's the brush that does it. Sharing is caring. We all like to hear everyone else's tips and tricks. So I'm going to put the Juice Beauty on the other side. Again, I don't know how long this is going to be available. It also reminded me of the Rose Inc. They're kind of coming back. So all these brands are just like transitional. But super lightweight. I had to move it quickly from the finger to the face. I don't mind that. I'm just telling you. buffing out of that previous product. Then this I can swipe on. I basically painted on. It's pretty great, and I just really like it. However, I will tell you, if I had pressed it, I would have seen more coverage. It doesn't swipe away the product, but this is a quick and easy one. Touch test. The Toups & Co. feels a little bit less sticky. Barely sticky, by the way. Both hydrating, not heavy, not oily. They work well with other products underneath, and I'll show you what they look like with products on top. So this is your Toups & Co. This is the Juice Beauty. The rose ink that I mentioned does have more silicones in it. This does not have silicones in it. That's huge for people like me. My skin is not a fan. The Juice Beauty does not have silicones in it. The score for application was a 5 out of 5. They're neck and neck at this point because they both apply very, very easily. You're gonna wanna see this in natural light. It's the real test, right? There's the Toups. The Juice Beauty. Not bad. I think the Juice Beauty is definitely lighter weight. It's not gathering just a little bit here. I didn't clean this as well. I did a quick clean, by the way, so if you're seeing gathering, that could be a result of just the oil that was on the face. This is giving better coverage. I think this is more natural coverage, but this is more opacity in coverage. Back to the video. Let's dive into coverage, okay? You can see it right now. It claims to be a full coverage product. This, with one layer, I feel gets me very, very strong medium, maybe medium to full coverage. I'm gonna build it for you. I'm actually gonna build both up. The coverage here is really, really good. Pressing this on top, the other thing that I noticed when I built this, it is very, very buildable. Very easy. You're gonna feel it a little bit more because it's moisturizing. You're gonna feel a little bit more moisture on your skin. But the thing that I noticed was it's doing some sort of blurring magic. You know what I mean? And Juice is really good at that. This is like really good at that. Okay, so the build is very strong. I'm not seeing gathering. I didn't see shifting. I didn't see patchiness. I just didn't see any of it. I saw only goodness. Now we're gonna build up the juice. Before I painted, now I am just pressing. Overall, it builds nicely. It's going to dry down a little bit. It gives a little bit more of a glow. I'm going to talk about finish in a second, but you can just see both give very strong medium to full coverage. And then you can bring powder into this picture, and that's when you start to see even more coverage. You'll start to see a bit more semi-matte, muting of the shine on the juice, and then you're going to see additional blurring with the Toups & Co. But I'll talk about this in a second. Hold on, I'll get to finish. But for now, coverage was really strong. It received a 4 out of 5 on the scorecard. Debated giving it a 5. Let's try a powder and talk about the finish. Very light setting powder from RMS that I'm testing right now. This is the Hydra powder. I would normally use a yellow powder, but I think that would skew this a little too much. So finish. There's not a lot of claims about how the Toups & Co. finish is supposed to look. I don't care because the finish on this was very skin looks like skin. You can see in the close-ups in natural light, it looks very natural on the skin, very cleanly evened out. I'm not seeing extra shine. I'm not seeing glow. The overall finish for me is more of a semi-matte, specially built. It is almost velvety. Sometimes they use the phrase satin, but I think satin doesn't apply because it's too much shine. Do you know what I mean? I would call it a semi-matte, almost close to a matte. But you can still see life in the skin. I like that. I like that. If I'm going outside, I don't want it to look like I'm wearing powder, heavy powder on my face, she says, as she's about to apply powder. The juice, wow, the juice is actually feeling a lot more to the touch, a little bit more moisture to the touch, like wet. You see a little bit more of a glow there. So I'm going to take a very small amount of powder. I'm just going to try and brush that off. For those of us with oilier skin that may want to completely mute the shine, or maybe you have one layer of the Toups and you want coverage, but you don't want additional layer of liquid. That's another trick you can use. I'm barely pressing this on. It's really, really light. It's a very soft brush. It just plays so well with other products. And there goes every bit of shine that I had. If you want that, you don't have to do that. I didn't need it. it blurs even more. And by the way, I just want to note, and I said this in the up close with the natural light, you'll see it in the full demo. You're going to see a little bit of gathering here. I just used jojoba oil and didn't fully cleanse the face. I've tried this without doing it here, and I really never saw gathering around the nose, so I just don't want you to think that that was what I kept seeing. In all honesty, this is probably more from what I've just done here than it is from the actual product. I know some of you are like, I see something. I get it, because you want to know. You want to see up close. You want to see all the pores. Every pore. Powder's pretty great. I really like it. It's like I don't even have to think kind of powder. Love those. So the finish for me was very strong. I felt like I really would not normally put a setting powder with this. I just didn't need it. Also received a 4 out of 5. So right now we have a 5 for application. We have a 4 for coverage, debated on a 5, and we have a 4 for finish. Wear test, right? This is what we want to know. This is what so many of the first impression videos or quicker videos, there's just not enough time to like bake it in. I do multiple wear tests. I test these for at least 2 weeks, I love to compare them to my favorites because that really helps me figure things out. But I do 8-hour wear tests multiple times, different days. Sometimes it's humid, sometimes it's not. I'm just going to finish the look. So everything else that I use will be linked below. The claim is that it does last all day. That's a very clear claim. And I was almost completely blown away by the wear test here. It did such a good job holding on. The coverage was also very, very strong. I think the coverage lasted a little bit more than the finish for me. Some days I built up, some days I didn't. The days when I didn't have any issue with the finish, which is par for the course. And sometimes if you take a little bit longer to really blend it in, press it in, prep it, I really don't do that every day, truly. Finish, maybe not as good as coverage, but both really strong. The Juice Beauty Wear Test has always been one of the strongest out there. That's why it's been on my favorites list for so long. So I would say the Juice was a little bit better, maybe by like a smidge compared to the Toups & Co. Toups & Co. received a 4 out of 5 on that. If you've tried liquid foundations that last for you all day and they have really good ingredients, sometimes that's tricky to find. Although I think we just found one. But if you have other options that you like, let us know in the comments because some of us just need to know these things. It would be really helpful. This stuff works so well with product underneath, product on top. I could even put a cream on top of this. Ogee. So let's just try this and see what happens. Now it's time for the total score. 17 out of 20. Not shabby. Pretty close to an 18 out of 20. By the looks of it, it works pretty well with the cream, right? I like this one. This one I wasn't a huge fan of at first, but it's really grown on me. I think it's also because I started using this brush. I'm just gonna look up close really quick and then we're gonna talk about my final verdict, which like, if you couldn't tell, yeah. It not only covers and gives finish, but it gives such a nice like blur with that second layer. If I wanted it, you know, like who doesn't, but it's good. So final verdict, $1 million question. When I finish this, will I buy more of it? One word answer, yes. Juice I'm very sad about, but the timing of this is very opportune because they're liquidating and I'm going to be devastated when this goes away. Right now, Toups & Co. is in top consideration for Britt's picks. This was so good, but there is another short list of foundations that I would recommend back on the website on the scorecard. Let me know what you think. Would you buy this? Have you bought this? What was your experience? The last foundations that I tested were both Serum foundations, and it was a battle, and it was interesting. That full review is right here. Bye.